Hello, good morning and welcome to News Desk. We're live on DSTV channel 421, GoTV channel 125 across all our social media handles. We are Joy News on TV. Coming up within the next 60 minutes, the Election Commission rejects calls by the opposition National Democratic Congress for a forensic audit of the voters' register as they term it premature. Also in this bulletin, Joy News Hotline documentary explores why many families are spending a fortune on sachet and bottled water, even though water flows through their taps. These plus business updates in this package. My name is Faustina Safo. Please take a seat and be my guest. Thanks for choosing us. We're a home of independent, fearless, and credible journalism. Now, we start with some election-related stories because this is your election headquarters. The Electoral Commission has described as premature the calls by the opposition National Democratic Congress for a forensic audit of the voter register. The NDC has in the past week raised concerns over some irregularities in the register, declaring a nationwide protest to drum home their point. The Electoral Commission has been responding to the concerns of the NDC at a news conference held yesterday. My colleague James Aveji was there for us. Here's a wrap.
Congress has, among other things, labeled the current provisional voter register as not credible and not fit for purpose, pointing out several irregularities captured in the register. Listen to Deputy Commissioner in charge of operations at the EC, Samuel Tete, who said the findings of the NDC are not new.
The Commission informed the NDC that the discrepancies they had detected were not new. The Commission noted that it had detected the same issues and had taken steps to correct them. The Commission reiterated that the essence of the exhibition exercise was to address all the concerns with the provisional voters register and assured the NDC that the issues identified were being resolved.
The EC said it is not true that they have entirely thrown out the demands of the NDC.
The EC assured the NDC during the meeting that it would conduct a thorough investigation and report on the issues they had detected within a week. Why are they refusing to submit the data to enable the EC to investigate and provide a report?
Here is the Commission's reaction to the NDC's intended nationwide demonstration.
The surest way to attaining a credible and robust register is not through demonstrations. There is simply nothing to demonstrate about. We are of the view that the stand taken by the NDC will not produce a credible register.
The EC said former President John Dramani Mahama must show leadership and call members of his party to order.
We call on the former President of Ghana, an eminent and respected statesman of the Republic, to encourage and bring his party to the table, as that is the best place to address issues and ascertain the truth regarding the voters' register. We are confident that the former president will heed to our calls and do everything in his power to bring his party to the discussion table.
James Aveji's report for Joy News.
The the NDC shortly. But first, let me bring in Dr. Machi Boateng. He is a political scientist from KNUST. Thank you for your time here on News Desk. Dr. Rashid Tanko, computer, will be joining us shortly. He is Director of Elections and IT for the National Democratic Congress. He would give us brief response of the NDC to this press conference that happened yesterday by the EC. But let me start with Dr. Machi Boateng. Thank you for your time here on News Desk. Now, you've heard the back and forth between the NDC and the Electoral Commission. How significant do you feel is a need to clear the voters' register at this time? And also, how would that impact the upcoming elections?
Thanks for having me, and let me say good morning to your viewers and listeners. Actually, the voters' register is at the heart of credible elections, simply because of the fact that if the voter register is not credible, if something happens to it and favors one or another party, the outcomes are known. The outcomes are simply, they are able to be determined. And in electoral governance, these outcomes should not be able to be determined ahead of time. So it is in everybody's interest. In fact, the interest of the whole of Ghana, any person who is interested in peace, and here I'll encourage the Peace Council to be closely interested in this issue and to monitor what is happening and, engage the parties actively. In the absence of such credible voters register, nobody is going to be able to have faith in the elections, and for that matter, the outcome will have difficulties, being accepted. We got to also remember the fact that in democratic elections, the party that gets the second highest vote position on the outcome is crucial in rendering the outcome itself legitimate. The party's acknowledgement of defeat, conceding and calling the winner, to send a message of congratulations, and all those things help with the credibility, with the legitimacy of the outcome. So now, I think it is good that we are able to identify what the challenge is, the credibility of the voters register. And I think the next step should not be difficult for Ghanaians to take, especially, led by the EC.
Now, explain to us, what are the key elements that would typically be included in a forensic audit of a voters register, and how might this differ from a standard review by the EC?
Actually, I'm sorry, I don't have the technical understanding of this forensic audit issue. I really don't. I don't have it. But I think there's one thing in it, besides the fact that they're calling for a forensic audit. They're calling for an independent body. It means that the NDC has issues with trust for the EC. And generally speaking, in matters of this nature, we don't work with trust. We work with what we call procedural legitimacy. And this is what the NDC is challenging, that the procedures that the EC have been using itself has produced some questionable outcomes. There are three, we say, conflicting imperatives that the EC must meet. Administrative efficiency. And the EC has for some time now demonstrated inefficiencies in the way it governs, in the way it manages, in the way it administers the electoral issues. Recently, we all, became aware that their difficulties are in very basic, issues. And I remember calling it that 1+1, the EC couldn't get it. The moment an EC demonstrates such, if you like, a behavior, it becomes difficult for political parties, especially those in oppositions, to say they trust the EC. These errors, could be errors. They might also, be political in nature. Technical challenges, errors are bound to occur in elections, but it is this procedural legitimacy that enables all parties interested in the outcome to be able to work and have faith in the system, not necessarily the EC per se, but in the procedures. And I think they are yet to, get there, such that especially members of the opposition will have faith in these procedures, and for that matter, potentially the credibility of the voters register itself.
The EC has defended its decision to reject an independent forensic audit. They are concerned about how the NDC is going about it. The last time the NDC met with the EC, they tell us that they did a PowerPoint presentation of some of the key concerns they had. And then the EC had requested that they provide them with documentation so that they can then clarify with their system and do some sort of audit, which they have already done, because they have been categorical that some of the concerns the NDC had made had already been catered for. Now, you have been in the political scene for a while. The posture of the EC, what message does it send out to political parties?
Well, I was telling myself that on this issue, you know, the EC could give the NDC the benefit of the doubt, decide to place at the heart of its work peace in Ghana in general, and simply allow an independent body to do this work, so that before going into the elections, we would all be rest assured of peaceful elections whose outcome will be accepted by all parties. I don't think it is too much at this material moment in time for an independent body to come in. At that time, I was telling myself that possibly Ghanaian taxpayers should be concerned, because if we have an EC that we paid for, ready to work for us, why call for an external body that we're going to have to make additional payment for? And someone suggested that UNDP is ready to fund it. If that is the case, then we don't expect the EC to take an entrenched position and insist on doing this itself. The EC is not working for itself, it is working for Ghanaians. And let's go back to elections 2020 in the United States of America. There was almost a coup d'etat. USA of all countries. In elections 2020, there was almost a coup d'etat. Elections can simply destabilize any country. So we are currently, I don't know whether to say that we are playing with fire. We got to do what we got to do. If the NDC, a major stakeholder, has issues with trust for the EC, it shouldn't be difficult for Ghanaians to understand it. Normally, with trust matters, it is, it's found in religious-related issues. With human beings, we don't work with trust. We work with legitimacy of the procedures. We work with administrative efficiency. The EC's political neutrality has also been called to question, with Nanado appointing a politically exposed person to work with the EC. All these are genuine concerns. NDC has a case not trusting the EC. I think we shouldn't have difficulties allowing an independent body to come in here.
Now, Doc, stay with me. Let me bring in Rashid Tanko. He is with the NDC, and he has been at the forefront of this issue since it started. Rashid, thank you for your time here on Newsdesk. Now, one would say the NDC has been unreasonable. You had met with the EC, you tabled your concerns before them, and then they say provide us with documents. That way we can cross-check and clarify if indeed some of the concerns you're raising is something we haven't already dealt with. And yet the NDC has failed to do that days after the meeting with the EC. Why are you being unreasonable?
Dear, we are not unreasonable. It is the Electoral Commission which is economical with the truth. They are not telling you, the media, the truth. Why did they shut the door against you, the media? When we requested for a live broadcast of our presentation to them on Friday, why did they shut their doors against? Why? Why were they running away from transparency? That's the question you should be asking them. If the media had come in to cover our presentation, this cock and bull story they are putting out there. In fact, yesterday their press conference was insultive to the NDC. They were completely insulting the NDC and doing propaganda as if they are a wing of MPP. Look, we made a presentation. They admitted to some of the issues. The issue of the illegal transfers, they admitted to it and said that their own officers, they are investigating them for having gone through into their system to do this kind of illegal transfers. The issue of padding the register with old data. Bosman on last Wednesday, held a press conference and admitted to this, that they realized that it was wrong. It was not properly done, because what they did, they saw the errors in that, and that they are taking steps to correct that. Bosman admitted to that. Why didn't they talk about it in their press conference yesterday? When we met them, after our discussions, they made us to understand that they had already taken steps to clean part of the register, and that even by Thursday, they would have given us the proper register that we are looking for. We gave them 2 terabytes of external drive for them to give us that corrected version that they are talking about, because they are ICT consultant who sat in the meeting, in fact, exposed them big time. When we raised issue about a gentleman whose name has been taken out from the register, he quickly retorted that the man's name was in the register. Then we asked him which polling station, which constituency. When he mentioned it, the man found his way in Volta region. But it's supposed to, the register they gave us, the man is supposed to be transferring his vote from one polling station in Accra to Tesano police station as a special voter. We expose them. So you see, when the boss want to kill you, they first make you mad. We expose them there. And then these are the things we are talking about. Have they given us the corrected versions they are talking about? Didn't we tell them that if they don't let us have an external audit team to do a forensic audit, we are not going to give them that data? And they said they were going to give us the corrected version. Have they given us the corrected version? Our 2 terabyte external drive is with them. They have still not given it back to us.
But the concern now is the EC says your call for an independent forensic audit is premature. They go on to explain that, indeed, they have spotted some anomalies which they have gone ahead to fix. The issue now is that they want you to provide them with documents which you had pledged after your meeting that you would provide the EC with. But no, this time you want to provide them that document after your demonstration.
We didn't say we are providing them the document after our demonstration. We are telling them that we are expecting an external body to do an audit of the register and their IT system. Dear, this is not the first time.
They say it's premature. Your request for an independent forensic audit is premature. They say come to the negotiation table. That's what the EC said yesterday. They even want the flag bearer of the party to come back and sit because you have concerns. Provide me with documents so that I can fix your concerns. And you're adamant.
We met them on Friday. We were on the round table with them. We did a demonstration of the grievances that we have. All the commissioners were there, plus their ICT consultant. They look at it. They look at the enormity of the problems that we demonstrated to them. And we said, look, we're even ongoing. We're still doing further checks about it. But these issues that we cannot trust your judgment to fix it because you deliberately created that mess. Because they use their own words that they deliberately added those ones. How can you deliberately add figures into a register? For what purpose? They use, that's their words. I didn't choose the word for them. The director of electoral services made it very clear that they deliberately added the 243,000. For what purpose?
I've monitored some of the social media handles of NDC members, and you're very quick to post some of these discrepancies on social media. Why the delay in presenting this same information you have to the EC? The EC says you haven't done that.
The one you are seeing on social media, we presented similar one to them at the meeting.
And the EC has a copy of that.
We are saying that we will not allow this EC to do that thing independently. Why is it that Charlotte said didn't do the thing when they brought their 80,000 Togolese issues? Justice Scrap Committee handled it. It was Justice Scrap Committee, a 5-man committee, that took the issues, had a public forum on it, had discussion. The NDC appeared before the committee, made our presentation. The NPP, which was alleging the 80,000 Togolese names in the register, made presentation before Justice Scrap. Why is it that the Electoral Commission then didn't say that we are going to do it ourselves, present the 80,000 to us, we will do the investigation ourselves? Was that not an audit? Why these people are now giving us different paradigm? We are not going to accept that. That is why we are telling them that they have been creating mess in the register since 2023. And we have been catching them all along. Anytime they create mess, we will point it out to them. So should we give this thing to them, fold our arms, and they will come back and tell us that we have corrected everything. Then December 7th, we will go there, and this thing is still going to appear on that day. What are you going to say?
The EC is concerned about the NDC's sudden interest in the voters' register. They claim as far back as 2016, there were plants and animals on the register. But you didn't raise concern then. Is it the case that you don't trust the EC?
Dear, this is a simple matter. The one who said those things at the press conference was the director of electoral services at the Electoral Commission. So he put the plant and animals in there in order to make sure that those plants and animals will vote Nanado to become president. And then he benefited from the plant because after Nanado won, he made him a commissioner. So he intentionally put those plants and animals in the register to elect a president for us. Is that what he's telling us? Is that what he's telling us? See how he has exposed himself. We are not going to go there because he has insulted his own integrity. Because he was the director of electoral services at the Electoral Commission when the register was compiled. So if he decided to put plants and animals in there, and those plants and animals elected Nanado as the president, and he inadvertently benefited from that election because he became a commissioner. And today, he wants to shake people with that kind of thing. We are not going to glorify him with this kind of response.
Now, the bigger concern now is about safety and security. You've served notice you are still going to hit the street in protest, but then what measures are you putting in place to ensure that the protest doesn't turn violent?
Since the incept of Nanado administration, we have held several demonstrations. Have you ever seen any record of violence in our demonstration? The NDC is the most peaceful political party that you can find in Ghana as of now. Very peaceful in all our activities.
But it makes it seem very difficult for us to accept that, especially when the NDC is this time refusing to sign a peace pact. So it speaks to your commitment to peace, doesn't it?
Let me tell you, after that one, they don't even bring it into the discussion.
Okay.
Which peace pact? The peace pact we signed in 2020, and they went and killed our people. They went and shot and killed our people in cool blood. We are not going to sign that kind of thing again. A peace pact that we sign and the president is not committed to any peaceful activities. The president will go and stand on a platform and say that I will not hand over to a president I defeated. What kind of peace pact are we going to sign? Peace starts from the president. He should be showing the way. Not we, the people who are receiving the backlash of all the nonsense from their government. We are not going to go into that, but we have already given our position on it, and that issue should not even come to our table. What we are saying is that the register is bedeviled with crisis. We cannot fold our arms and expect that you have 243,000 names being added to a register, and you think that we should fold our arms, and the issue which admitted into this thing is now telling them we don't have issues. When they were admitting, when Bosman held a press conference last Wednesday and admitted to all that about the issues, didn't they know that they have created a mess? Did we force them to put those names in there? When their own officers are transferring people illegally without their notice, was it NDC who forced them? Didn't they tell us they know the path they have created on that thing?
On the 17th, you would hit the streets. On the 17th, you would hit the streets, and you've also served notice that you would be presenting a petition to the EC. One of your key requests, the EC has already served notice that they reject. Why proceed then?
Our key demands are three. Three key demands. The first one, forensic audit of the register and their IT system, because clearly they themselves have admitted that their IT system is not robust.
And they have rejected that.
There is a challenge with it. Second one, we are saying that after the correction, the register should be re-exhibited. Because a lot of people who, Ghana, hardly do you get, more than 40% Ghanaians going to check their name during exhibition. In fact, the highest you get is almost 35%. They don't have time for it because we don't have these problems. Until recently, that we realize that if you don't go and check your name, these people will remove your name. Or they'll put your name somewhere that you don't know. And it has started this year again. And so we are saying that now do re-exhibition, so that Ghanaians can now troop there to now be very, because you, this easy, nobody can trust you now. That is another demand we are talking of.
What's the third?
There must be, yes. And the third one is very clear. It's very clear. That one there, we are very clear in our mind. The Electoral Commission should make sure that we have a level playing ground.
You feel that the grounds are not leveled now?
The ground is not level. How can this ground be level when the NPP and the Electoral Commission are singing the same song? Of what interest are they going to save Ghanaians?
But in 2016, when the NDC raised concerns about the voters' register, the NDC was also on the EC side.
Which EC side are we? We are talking of somebody who alleges that 80,000 Togolese are in the register. And he was showing evidence that they actually exist when there was nothing like that. Because you've just seen people names which sound like Togolese, and then you say they are Togolese people. Go to voter register, go to Aflao, and listen to their names. Are you saying that they are not Ghanaians? That was their basis. They wanted to disenfranchise them. Here we are not talking of that. Here we are talking of somebody who accepted that, yes, I took 2023 transfer register and added them to the 2024 transfer by bloating the register. I agree that, yes, it's a mistake. I made a mistake. And I'm saying that if we hadn't found that thing, you wouldn't have agreed that it's a mistake. When you were printing the registers out and sending it to a district, your IT department, didn't they see that the numbers were increasing?
So you want the EC to provide a level ground, a level playground. How do you propose the EC goes about it that would better fit the NDC's demands?
Good. It teases out from the register that we are talking, the audit of the register. Let us have the audit. What is their fear? What do they have to hide? If they have nothing to hide, they should allow the audit. Let the audit come. When the audit comes, we all, our heads up, everybody will be on level playing ground. We now know that we have a clean register. We have a clean register. We exhibit it. Again, how many days will it take us to exhibit it? Even a 1 week exhibition is enough. And then everybody will go and check and be sure that we have our register very neat, clean, and for purpose, and can be used for a purpose. These are the things that makes election free and fair. Like my other discounter was talking of. If a country is to be destabilized, it's through registration of voters and then voting.
Dr. Rashid Tanko, thank you so much for your time here on Newstex. I'll wrap up with Dr. Amachi Boateng. You've heard the NDC's concerns. They are still going to hit the streets. They say the EC must bend and grant them their request for an independent forensic audit. What's your final words?
I think it's a call for all Ghanaians to relate to and tell ourselves, everybody, whether it is an unreasonable call, whether the NDC's position is unreasonable. If anything at all, they are in for a credible voters register. If anything at all. It's very significant that the issue of peace came in, and the Peace Council came out to say that, look, sign a peace pact. And putting one's signature on a document does not necessarily guarantee free and fair elections, and for that matter, violent-free elections. The Peace Council should be interested in the procedures outlined by the EC from now on until the day of election. They should be interested in the EC providing Ghanaians with a credible voters register. And generally speaking, the issue of trust should not come in here. It is up to the EC to position itself such that people will see it as politically neutral. It is a job for the EC. Now, as we speak, can anybody say that the EC has done that? Is it reasonable for NDC, for example, to say that they don't see the EC as politically neutral? At the least, we have the appointment of a politically exposed individual, to the EC at the least. And that is enough to affect the mindset of any objective observer. And the issue of the EC's capacity to deal with the challenges. One, Was it the EC that found out the discrepancies in the voters register and then informed Ghanaians? Or they thought that everything was okay until the NDC came out with it? Why is it that the EC is saying, NDC, furnish us with what you've got before we are able to proceed to ensure that we have a clean voters register? Don't they have the capacity themselves? That is what the NDC, that is what is making them call for a forensic audit. The mere fact that the EC is acknowledging that, look, on our own, we are not able to unearth all errors in the voters register. The call for the NDC to provide additional information is an admission that they by themselves are not able to address the challenge before them. In a situation that we find ourselves in as Ghanaians, and given the fact that the EC does not own the elections, and then the potential catastrophic outcome of elections that one of the biggest parties feel that, the EC is partially or somehow, or they suspect the EC as being the camp of their political opponents. We simply find ourselves in such a terrible situation. So why not bring in an outsider whose influence, whose role will simply offset all these misunderstandings and challenges? Why? Who should be the beneficiary of the outcome of credible elections? Ghanaians, not the EC. So I think it's not too much for any party to call, one, for a forensic audit, and two, for an independent body to come in to help us Ghanaians address this challenge.
Thank you, Dr. Machi Boateng, political scientist at KNUST, for your time here on NewsDesk. Now let's stay with politics and talk about the presidential aspirants, because 3 female presidential aspirants have filed to contest in the 2024 election. Among the independent candidates is Janet Nabila, a former general secretary of the PNC, who chose to run independently after her new party, the People's National Party, failed to meet the registration requirement. There's more in the following report.
The 3 female presidential aspirants are Nana Frimpong Kumakuma of the CPP, Ghana Freedom Party, GFP Sekwadonko, and Janet Asana Nabila, former PNC General Secretary, who was expected to file for another political party, People's National Party, but ended up filing as an independent candidate.
Oh, we started, that was in April. To us, we're thinking that by now the processes should be done, because number one, Electoral Commission asked us for a party headquarters. They asked about a constitution. They told us to provide them with our regional and national executives. They told us to provide them 262 district founders. They asked us to pay 40,000 Ghana cedis. They asked us to establish 16 regional offices across the country, to which we did with with haste. We did all these things, but then they told us that they are busy. Some of the things they were supposed to do, they couldn't do it. And for that matter, we can file as an independent candidate whilst the processes still go on. We are not happy about it, but then, because we are not happy at all about it, but then.
She also expressed concerns about the rigorous nature of the process.
In the history of this country, it has never happened before that the Electoral Commission will give a discount just to encourage people to contest. I
hope the press is hearing this one. This should be a highlight. This should be a highlight.
So let me use this opportunity to thank the Commission. Let me also register something that I think that maybe moving forward we should look at. Look at the number of leaflets in front of you. We have to run around the whole 262 districts to get this. And they are supposed to write them in quadruplex. In the 21st century, we are now in a not even Gen Z world, Gen Alpha world, where digitalization is supposed to be the hour of the day. Yet we have to do all these things. We are pleading with the Commission.
Nana Frimpong Kumakuma is rallying support for a female president on December 7.
It is my belief and hope that as the woman, one of the women, and the first woman to stand for the Convention People's Party, is going to be there for all young people across the nation and everyone who has a dream and who believes in Ghana to be able to get up and do what is right for the nation.
The GFP Sekadonko is hopeful that the EC chair would deliver a successful election 2024. Filing of nominations for the December election ends this Friday, with 14 candidates filing so far, and at least 8 more candidates expected to file on deadline day. James Abeji, Joy News.
Away from politics, the impact of galamsey on Ghana's rivers and water bodies has deepened public mistrust in the nation's water system. Across the country, even in the most modest households where water flows from the tap, families are spending a fortune on sachet and bottled water, desperately seeking a safer alternative. But are those who turn to sachet water truly free from contamination? Features editor Richard Kojo-Yanko explores the growing phenomenon in our latest Hotline documentary, Drinking with Suspicion.
In towns and cities across the country, taps are running, but the trust in the water that flows through them has evaporated. Consumers are turning to sachet water, a costly alternative, but even this doesn't bring peace of mind. Even as the pollution of the rivers continue unabated, the managing director of Ghana Water Company Limited, Clifford Brimer, believes the water they produce is good enough for drinking and that there is no cause for alarm.
It's marketing. The sachet water people want to let them know that, and to your surprise, most of the sachet people fetch our water and bag it. They don't do any treatment process, but they tell them what is in that bag is more wholesome than where they fetched it. Because they fetch it into another container. Probably the container is contaminated. And they now put it in a bag, close it and sell it to you. So there are marketing issues that is creating trust issues. But we can tell her. That's why I told you that we've done this ISO. Just to tell you, this is not a Ghanaian thing alone. It's an international standard that Ghana Water Company has gotten its system certified that we produce water to this level. So if anybody says, oh, I won't drink the water because it's because somebody else has. You let the researchers that you are talking about tell you when they run study on our water, the sachet water, and those two, the coliforms levels, where they found most. It's not for me to tell you, but you can find out. And then you realize that, no, it's not Ghana water.
The question of whether the water flowing from our taps is free from heavy metals and other contaminants is a matter of great sensitivity. It touches on both public health and trust in our infrastructure. At the heart of this issue is the Ghana Water Company, which shoulders the vital responsibility of delivering water to households across the country. Ensuring that this water meets safety standards falls to the Ghana Standards Authority, whose role in inspection, testing, and metrology provides a crucial layer of quality assurance. At the helm of the Ghana Standards Authority is Professor Alexander Dodu, the Director General overseeing efforts to guarantee that the water Ghanaians rely on meets the highest safety and quality standards.
The Ghana standards for water excludes the presence of heavy metals, period. So any activity which will contribute to the presence of heavy metal in water, because if you're using a borehole, it's going to be surface water. You're going to drill down, but whatever is on the surface will percolate down. So, and heavy metal doesn't go away. So wherever there is heavy metal, it will show up in water. If heavy metal shows up in water, that water is not safe, not fit for consumption. So I think you can draw the analogy that any activity, whether it's galamsey, whatever activity, leads to lead, mercury, any other heavy metal being present, and being present such that it can be in water, poses a risk to human health. Anything which exposes the environment to an increased level of heavy metals puts everybody in Ghana at risk.
In homes across the country, this is the new reality. Even as they pour from sachet, the people of Ghana drink with suspicion. The unseen consequences of galamsey have infiltrated every aspect of life, eroding trust and safety in something as basic as water.
We use this same pipe water to bath ourselves. And as a lady, you use this water to wash your under. It's giving us effects. To be frank, it's giving us effects. Sometimes when I fetch the water and I'm going to use it to bath, and then use that same water to wash my underpart, it's very scary.
You're watching News X. We'll be back with business after this breather.
It's time for business on Newsdesk. My name is Winston Taki, and now to our first business story. Bank of Ghana is challenging claims of dollar shortage on the market, which is fueling cedi's depreciation. There is more in the following report.
The Bank of Ghana described this news as very interesting. This is because most of the auction carried out over the past 3 months, commercial banks did not even take up the entire dollars that was on offer. Therefore, they are struggling to connect these complaints based on data available to the central bank. Sources close to the Bank of Ghana have told Joy Business that they have the required dollars to support the market. Therefore, there is no need for businesses to panic. According to the Bank of Ghana, the interbank market and rates being offered have fairly been stable over the past 3 months, and that should prove that it has always been on the market to meet the needs of the banks and businesses. The Bank of Ghana also argued that the increase in dollar supply in recent times is not due to the fact that there is shortage of dollars on the market, but rather a strategy to ensure that it meets the needs of businesses to finance some critical sectors of the economy.
Aramex Ghana is promising patrons of the EcoBank Joy News Habitat Fair modified total logistic warehousing solutions. Taki has been speaking at the Joy News Habitat Fair and will bring us up-to-date information, especially for customers who will be benefiting from discount offered based on their services.
And transportations company. We are in over 60 countries across the world, and we believe in providing a seamless, carefree movement of goods and services for our customer. We have various services from courier services, which is shipping of small items, both internationally and domestically. We into air freight services, that is the full freight forwarding services, the air freight services, sea freight, land freight transportation. We also handle project cargo from oil, mining, construction, basically anything to do with transportation. We also run a third-party logistics service where we offer warehousing facilities for our customers. So our whole intention is to handle from point A to point B for customers. We also have services for individual customers, which is our shop and ship service. So this basically gives individuals the opportunity to shop from anywhere in the world, and we have them delivered to them here in Ghana. So once you're a Shop and Ship customer, you have over 47 delivery addresses across the world where you can buy things online and have it sent here. Aramex is also a major supporter of all e-commerce companies. So when it comes to shipping for Amazon items into Ghana, it's done by Aramex, from Shein to Fashion Nova to some heavy brands, e-commerce brands. They're shipping with Aramex into Ghana. We also have the health service where we move in biological samples out of Ghana, from malaria research to DNA samples to medical supplies, basically anything transportation. Aramex does that.
Name a country and Aramex will be more than willing to get your items transported to and from the country.
Aramex always prides itself in finding solutions for customers. So even if there's not a direct service from that country into Ghana, we do what we call the multimodal transportation. So it's either we are shipping from one country by air to another country and then moving it by sea here, or moving it to a country that has, especially if it's an urgent shipment, there are some countries that have regular flights coming into Accra. So however it takes for us to get your items to Ghana for you, we do that.
Aramex offers bespoke logistics solutions for all companies, including micro, small, and medium businesses.
Our warehouse facility, we work with top warehouse management system. So if you're keeping your stock with us, you can order from your reorder level. We can store them in terms of your expiry dates. Basically just managing life for you to make it easy for you. We manage from supermarkets. They have their items in our warehouse. Our warehouse has from dry, which is no temperature. We also have the temperature control warehousing. So we have from +4 up to -18. So any item at all that you need to be stored in a warehouse, Aramex can do that service for you.
Utmost customer satisfaction is a hallmark of Aramex.
In terms of customer service, Aramex prides itself in excellent customer service. Once you open an account with Aramex, we have a whole team that supports your services. So we have 2 customer services that are keeping you updated, that are monitoring your shipments. So if you're a one-man business and you have that extra support from Aramex as well, you're with our technology-driven services as well, you're able to track your shipments. You have an interactive dashboard where you can know where your shipment is, what is happening, when you're expecting it, so that you can plan your operations properly.
Here's why they decided to join the EcoBank Joy News Habitat Fair.
We believe that for every person that would be there needs Aramex services, from the construction companies to the people that are looking at buying homes or furnishing their homes. They're all looking at competitive pricing and to be able to get the best deal ever. And Aramex can be there to provide competitive shipping services to ensure that the end user gets a competitive bargain as much as possible. So basically, we're there to support everybody from exhibitors to people that are coming in, and also to advise people in terms of their shipping needs, how they can bring things in Ghana without having to, pay an arm and a leg for that, and how to get things in efficiently and faster, and then how to ensure that their running cost is reduced in terms of looking at warehousing facilities when they cannot afford one. They should expect several shipping solutions. They should expect discounts on our Shop and Ship registration service. It's usually $45, but we are offering 250 Ghana cedis that day. We are also offering, launching our new product, which is the Faganaco UK service, that is giving SMEs and individuals the opportunity to ship made in Ghana items. So from all the foods that we eat here, dry foods, to clothing, to accessories, to the UK at a very affordable price. So they should visit our stand for amazing deals.
Competitive pricing, as well as a wide range of logistics movement and warehousing services offered by Aramex, makes them the best amongst their peers. Now you have no excuse not to visit the Aramex stand at this year's EcoBank Joy News Habitat Fair. See you there.
WO follow-up bulletin. Back to Fosti.
And that's it for NewsX. For more news, please log on to myjoyonline.com. You have interesting stories there. And also, you can go on our Facebook page, Joy 99.7 FM. Yesterday on Newsnight, we spoke to the Land and Natural Resource Minister, and he's been giving updates, some of the demands CSOs have been making about illegal mining. My name is Faustina Safo. Have a pleasant day as you enjoy the rest of our programs.
I know, right?